All right. Afternoon, everyone. So this is another edition of Coffee and Charts. My headphones are not on. All right, there we go. Another edition of Coffee and Charts. This is volume number 40. Volume 40. As you guys make your way on, please be sure to like and share the video, first and foremost. Also, if you're tuning in from Facebook, be sure to follow the TeamAlliance Facebook page. If you're tuning in from YouTube, be sure to like and share the video and then subscribe to the channel. Also turn on the little bell notification. Same thing on Facebook. When you follow the page, turn on the bell. If you're tuning in from Twitter, be sure to like and share the video and then to retweet. And if you're not a member of the public TeamAlliance Facebook group yet, be sure to join the group to ensure that you receive notifications when I go live. All right. If you're in the group, no matter what, you'll be notified when I do go live, because for whatever reason, anytime you post in the Facebook group, you'll get a notification if you're a member of the group. All right. So be sure to do everything that I just mentioned to ensure that you have the best opportunity to tune in live when I do go live, because you've been notified. All right. Other than that, we got about another hour of observation left for today. This is also going to wrap up the week for trading. I didn't come on this week as often as I wanted to. I wanted to come on actually a few more times, but I didn't have the time actually to do so. So I was unable to do so. All right. But we're here now. We're here now. All right. So if you have questions, if you're new to this content, if you're new to the NADEX Trading Platform, if things are unfamiliar to you, please feel free to ask whatever questions that you have. I'll be more than glad to answer your questions when I get to them. When you post in the chat, I'll see it regardless of what platform you're on. So you can be on any one of the three platforms that I mentioned, Facebook, YouTube, or Twitter. And when you post, I'll see it. And I will respond at my earliest convenience. All right. Okie doke. This week I've done quite a bit of observation. Some of you may remember last year I did a series called 30 Days, 30 Trades in 30 Days. 30 Trades in 30 Days. And basically all it was the same Project Freedom that we do now. It was that same exact spreadsheet. It was the same thing. And what I did was basically trade no more than once a day. And I did that over the course of 30 days to complete that project. Now, some of you may remember the last part of the project, there were, it was like the last 10 trades actually, because by the time I got to trade 21. I think it was 21. I started doing it. And the last 10 trades of that project, there was something that I had mentioned called the extension. That's what I was holding it at the time. And all it was applying the same logic as far as stability and behavior, just applying it in a different type of market environment. Now, as I observed this week, I started to realize what the differences are between looking at the market that way versus, yes, exactly. Mo remembers, he's an OG. The extension, exactly. So, as I observed this week, I didn't even mean to do it. See, y'all have to realize something about me, and also just having market skill. You have to literally decide the way that you want to go about ultimately ending up in your trades, because there are variations of stability. Shani. You mean this week, right? Yeah. See, maybe that's why I naturally gravitated to looking at the market this way. But it, like I said, it's not even like I mean to do it. I don't. But I naturally look at the market in a way where I see stability regardless of the environment that we're in at the time. Now, the one before I even start mentioning anything, the one thing that I don't want is anytime I have, a discussion, or I might present this perspective of the way that stability can be seen. I'm not doing it to try to change anything about the way that we do things currently. And for me to say that it's an addition to it, it would take away from the power of this as a separate entity altogether. It's separate, but it's the same logic. So put it like this. If I ask you, well, the market can be stable in how many different environments? See, now, if someone were to respond to that question, right, they would say, because of how I normally would do things and the way that I always present everything, they'll say, well, you can only see stability in a slow market. And that's not true. Now, that doesn't mean that you should be pursuing a different environment that you're not used to seeing and that you're just unfamiliar with. So, for example, so many people, and I mean, like, it's a lot of people that message me that either become frustrated or they're not used to being in a slower environment in the market. What they'll ask me is, well, why don't you trade the way that you used to trade? And what they're saying is, when I first started seeing your videos, Mark, I used to see you trading when the market was moving fast. I used to see you trading when the market had big candles on the chart. And you're right. I did used to trade in faster market environments. And I also traded in slower market environments. So you would see me doing both. Now, the issue for me was trying to communicate both. See, I can't do that. I can't teach and train multiple things at the same time. It has to be focused on one thing. And the one thing that I realized over time that became easier to focus on, not just for me, but for everyone. See, like I did it for everyone mainly. It's easier to focus on the activity in the market when the market slows down, because you learn everything easier when you're in a slower learning environment. It just is what it is. Like just think if I taught you how to do math and I went fast teaching you, like I do 2 + 2. Now do 2 × 2. Now what's 2 divided by 2? It's like if I'm teaching you addition, multiplication, and division all at once, you're not gonna learn any of them. So I gotta pick one. All right, we're gonna start with addition. Let's start with addition. 2 + 2. See, and now I can teach the logic of one thing, and then it will help you understand everything else that we learn later. Does that make sense? So what I have done successfully is I have been able to teach the value of stability in the market without exception. Like there's no exception to the rule. The only time that you should ever trade is when the market is stable. That's it. That's it, period. Now, here's where the issue comes in. The problem for most people is recognizing stability. They don't know what it looks like. So what they'll do is, instead of identifying actual behavior, they focus on things like, you know, volatility, a lot of activity going on. Like, oh, when the market is doing a lot of this, then I can do that. And what they're doing is they're trying to take the trade that they want to take, and they're looking for how the market can fit into the trade. You see, instead of doing it the other way around, where you take the trade and you customize the trade to the actual market's behavior, because the one thing that you can't control is the market's behavior, but you can control the trade that you take. See, so whatever trade you decide to enter into, if you customize the trade for the behavior that you understand, now the trade becomes powerful because the trade is now backed up by the market. And understand what that means. So now that means that every time that you trade, you're not trading because of the trade. You're trading because of the behavior that you customize the trade to. You see? So here we go into what we do. So now what do I teach you to do all the time? I teach you to observe the market for behavior first. So before you even talk about the trade, you're looking at the market to see if you see the right behavior for the trade. Does that make sense? So this week, as I said, I saw a lot of activity with the way that we normally are looking at the market. And I also saw a lot of activity with what I mentioned about the extension. Now, the extension is something that I had taught last year when I had completed the project 30 trades in 30 days. At the end of that project, I actually taught what the extension was. And all it is the same principle of stability in a faster market environment. That's all it is. And it's not even necessarily a faster market environment. It's just more of a vertical market behavior that you're actually seeing. And this is what I realized this week. So this is not something that I'm going to actually, take the time to create a whole training for and all of that, because I feel that everything that we learn as far as what we're being trained and conditioned to see and to do. You need to stick to that, and eventually you'll understand the extension. You'll understand how it applies in a more extended market behavior, if that makes sense. And it's funny that I called it the extension, because that literally is how I see it. It's like I see it as an extension of what we already do. So anyway, what you'll probably see me do from time to time, I may actually mention it, or I might talk about the market, but I'm mainly talking more so about stability. So for everyone who's in training already, right? Your understanding of the behavior in the market is the key to everything. So there are conversations and debates about entries. Like a lot of times people will go back and forth about whether the entry was valid, whether the trade was valid. And the emphasis that you'll see me make is more so on was the behavior what we needed it to be. So what I'm doing is I'm redirecting your attention and your focus away from the trade setup, and I'm putting it more into the actual market setting up. And it's funny too, I'm talking about this thing. This thing is actually doing it. It's actually doing it right now. That's funny. Hey, but this always happens. You see where this ends at? It ends at 2.7. All right. Literally, it just did exactly what I was talking about. But anyway, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to direct folks that want to see what I'm referring to. I'm going to direct you to the videos inside of that playlist where there were actual trades that took place with what I'm referring to when I say extension. Because you have to understand that one of the things that the market will do is it will stabilize, and once it stabilizes, the actual speed of the market will, what's a good word to use? Oscillate, I guess is a good word. The speed will change. The environment will change. It will go from slower to faster, vice versa, will go from faster to slower. Now, we're conditioned to recognize stability. The easiest way to do that when you first come on the chart is for you to wait for the market to slow down, because it's easier to see it when the market is slow, especially to the untrained person, to the untrained eye. If you got on here and you start looking at the market and the market has a lot of movement, it's more difficult for you to recognize whether the movement is stable or not. It just is. Because you're seeing too much. You're seeing big candles, you're seeing small candles, you're seeing medium-sized candles, you're seeing wicks, you're seeing some that are not wicks. It's like there's too much going on for you to recognize anything. And that's why I don't teach you that way. What I teach you to do is to recognize stability first. Because once you see what stability looks like, if you can recognize it in a slow environment, then if the market were to be in a fast environment, you would see it too. You see, like, does that make sense? But you can't see it in a fast environment if you can't see it in a slow one. So it's very interesting when you think about it, because it's like, wow, this explains a lot that I see. Exactly, as it should. I give you an example. There are times when you'll see the market have a big candle, and then you'll subsequently see smaller candles afterwards. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about, right? Now, if the market is in a slow environment and the market has been ranging, we know what the big candle means. The big candle is simply a position change. It's a position change in an existing range. So the market will be ranging for a period of time, and then the market will change the position that it decides to stay in. And that's when you'll see the big candle. Now, if you don't know what a range is, you won't know that that's what happened. To you, it'll just look like a big candle, and you might be expecting more big candles. See, like, so for example, when someone comes on here, if they're looking at big candles or looking for them because they want to see volatility and speed, you could be seeing a big candle in a range. You can actually be seeing a larger candle during a period of time when there's smaller candle activity. So in other words, the market might actually be in a smaller candle dominant range. And if that's the case, the big candle doesn't mean what you want it to. So people will take trades because they're looking at one particular thing instead of understanding the foundation of everything. See, the foundation of all of this is stability. So whether you realize or recognize it or not, you have to understand that stability is why you'll win a trade. Stability is what your trade needs to conform to. Does that make sense? So the right behavior is what your trade has to actually conform to. Your trade has to be customized to fit in to the timing of the market's behavior. Does that make sense? Like, we do this now, so I'm not even asking people that are in training because you'll already know that that's what we already do. But this is more of a generalized question just for people's information, because once you understand stability, you start to make sense out of everything that you see on the chart. You start making sense out of everything. And eventually what happens is you'll have the ability, because you see everything clearly, you know how to customize when you actually trade to the behavior that's present in the market. It's just like when you know that the market's not fully stable yet. There's something missing that could potentially put a trade at risk, and you know not to trade because of the something that's missing. You know what I'm talking about? Just like if you got two layers of stability and one's missing, the one that is missing potentially could be the reason that your trade would lose. So if you know that beforehand, would it make sense to try to force your way into a trade knowing that one of the layers is not there? These are questions that you have to ask yourself. So the more that you ask and answer market questions, the easier it becomes to trade. Just like how, some people are dealing with being afraid to click into a trade. Like, this is another issue. It's another issue. So, like, some people, they scared to do it. Some people will click in when they have no business clicking in. It's like, why did you click in right there? Like, why would you do? I'll give you an example. I give you a real good example of when you click in and you shouldn't click in. As a matter of fact, who was that had brought it up? They shared a video and everything. Oh, it was Sean. It was Sean. So actually, yeah, let me speak on that. So what Sean did was exactly what I talk about often, that you should not do. When the market is out of position and you have no option pricing, you know that the market is in a stable environment, but you could get caught in a position change if your timing is off. And because you don't know, it doesn't make sense for you to even click in if you're out of position. Y'all pay attention to this. This is what Sean did. And he recorded it, and he was held accountable for it. He held himself accountable for it. And then he shared it with the group. And see, that's why we will grow as a collective, because now you saw exactly what I say not to do. You actually saw someone do it, and you saw exactly what can happen if you do that. So listen to this. When the option is priced out, that is the platform's way of telling you that the market is too far away from your strike price, number one. And by you clicking in, it would mean that in order for your order to be filled, the market would have to move against your strike. So if there are people watching and they see, look at the market moving. Let me place an order real quick. This thing might go to the other side of the strike. And they place an order, right? Or if you placed an order already because the market was out of position, they see your order. Hold on. Listen. They actually see your order on the platform. So they're looking, they're like, somebody got an order out here. $20 on the buy side. And I think that this is going to go up. Now, mind you, currently the market's not over the line, but the market's moving. It's moving. And they see this movement and they see your order sitting there. Oh, there's a buy. Somebody got a buy out there. Let me grab that. Boom, they click in. And they grab your order. What just happened? Your order just got filled. Let me say it again. Your order just got filled. Someone saw the movement, they saw your order, and they took it. When they took your order was filled on the other side. So here you are selling, wanting the market to stay under, and they're buying, so they're taking your sell order on the other side because they see the market moving. Remember, what did I say? The only way that your order will be filled is if the market moves against your position. So the market would have to move against you to be filled. And just think about the logic. Well, why would it be filled if it moved against my strike? Because someone else is looking at the market and they see your order on the platform. And you have to realize this happens quickly. It doesn't take time at all. Someone sees your order, just like if you were looking at the market and you saw low-hanging fruit like we used to do. You remember them times where we used to see orders hanging out there? Oh, look at that. Market's already in position. Somebody got a trade out there. I'll take that. Click. And you click in and you win a quick $20 or whatever it is that the person had their order for. Because they don't know any better, or they had their order hanging there and then the market went against their position and you saw it and they never canceled the order. So you click in and you fill the order for them and you win the trade to take their money. See, this is an exchange. So for every person that is placing an order on the platform, somebody else is looking at that. So if they see the market moving and they see your order hanging there, they're like, shit, the market it's gonna go. Ooh, there's an order. Let me take that. Click. They take your order, and you end up losing the trade because the market changed position on you, and they end up collecting the $80 from you. You understand? Or because you just placed your order and left it there when the market was out of position completely. So the only way that you would have been filled at all is if the market went against you. So literally, it's like you're giving your money away to somebody else during a position change in the market. We have no need to do that. And this is why I say, if it's out of position, don't click into that. We're not even in the trade. We're not even in. We'll just watch that. See? And I understand what people are thinking and what they're feeling when they click in. They're like, oh, well, I'm going to click in case I get filled. But no, you don't want to get filled if it's out of position. Because in order for you to be filled, it means the market has to move against the position. Does that make sense? So we don't want to be in the market if it had to move against us to get in. You following me? Makes a lot of sense. So I'm breaking this down and explaining things this way so that you take heed to the times that you see the market out of position, no pricing, and in your mind, you're like, well, the market is stable. Right, market is stable. But the market can also change position, and the timing of that can be at the end of the binary. So why would you want to be in position to be filled on a position change that could and most likely will move to the other side of the strike and you'll lose that trade? Why would you want to do that? You understand? So again, understanding what you're doing. This is why I say when you're out of position, nothing to do. Oh, Mark, I always see stability, but there's never any pricing. Well, because you have to wait for the timing to be right. See, on the platform, the market has its timing, and then there's also orders. So sometimes you'll see pricing because other people are placing orders that you can see. And then sometimes you don't even see their order. But you'll be filled because you're in range. There's an order out there, and you end up being filled on someone else's guess that the market will go to the other side of the strike. And you know that it ain't going to do that. See, you're like, does that make sense? You're already aware of the behavior, so you know it won't do that. So if they place an order against your position, it means that you'll be filled even if you don't see pricing on the option. That's the difference. So every time you don't see pricing on the option doesn't mean that the market's out of position. Sometimes the market will be in range and you don't see pricing. So the key is to be sure that you're in range. This is exactly why I say, if I have 5 and I see that +1 and I'm in range, I click in regardless. But y'all are clicking in when you got 7 and 8 micropips away from the strike. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when you got 5 and you get a +1. Only in that instance. Making sense? 5 + 1 means you're in range. If you're out of range, you're out of position. If you're out of position, the market would have to go against the position for you to be filled, because that's the only reason that someone else would have to buy if you're selling. Why would somebody else on the other side be interested in this option right now if they didn't see or feel that the market would move to the other side? That's the only reason that they would be interested. So they have no reason to place a trade that would fill you. This is making a lot of sense today. A lot of sense. They have no need to place an order if they don't feel that the market will move to the other side of the strike. That's the only reason that they have to place an order. So if you're out of position, if you're that far away from the strike, they're like, I ain't doing nothing with that. But then if they see the market move, they're like, market is coming up to the strike. Somebody got an order out there. Oh shit. They see your order, they take your order, and then the market continues and it goes to the other side of the strike. You lose and then they win. And that's how people will get caught up in position changes in this example. So that's why I tell you, if it's out of position, scratch it. Nothing to do yet. Makes a lot of sense, right? Makes a lot of sense. All day. It is the key all day. I just explained this, Carrie. I just explained this. Sometimes you'll see it and sometimes you won't. But it's your understanding that will make it make sense. Because if you don't understand it, it won't make any sense. You'll wonder why. It's like, damn, why did I get filled on that one? The market just bursted out of nowhere at the end of the binary. Right. And you were totally out of position, so you had no reason to even be in that trade. So the question is not why did the market burst? The question is why were you in a trade being that far away from the strike? You see? So you have to ask the right questions. And that's why I give you the questions to ask. Like I'm telling you what to ask. You're looking and you're like, all right, there's no pricing on this option. Why is there no pricing? How far is the indicative from the strike? Oh, that's why. It's 7 to 8 micropips away from the strike. That makes sense now. So because the market's stable, the distance is 7 to 8 micropips away from the strike, you shouldn't have pricing. See? So you just answered the question. Why is there no pricing? That's why. Oh, well, Mark, I've seen times when the market is only 4 or 5 micropips away and there's no pricing. Okay. So if there's no pricing with the market being in range, what is that telling you? That's telling you that the market is stable. You see? The market is stable, and the market is so stable that the orders that may be there are getting taken as soon as they're placed, so you don't see pricing at all. That's how when you place your order, you get filled and you never saw pricing. See? Because someone that's on the other side of us, they're looking too. They're like, man, it's only got to move maybe 5 or 6 to go on the other side. Man, I can make 80 on this. See? And then they'll place the trade. And if you already have your order placed, your order gets filled. And you never saw pricing. There was never time to see pricing. The platform don't even display it because they match your order with theirs. So there was no need to show the price. See, like you'll see pricing whenever there are orders and there's no one to take the order yet. That's when you see the pricing on the platform. Nobody took that order yet. That's why you see the pricing. So this is actually helping people to understand what pricing is, like you know, to actually make sense of what it is. Pricing is showing you visibly orders. If no one took the order yet, that's why you see pricing. If people are taking orders as soon as someone else places them, you won't see the pricing. Does that make sense? I think somebody asked about depth too. I'm talking about that in a second. Yeah, this is really good today. Yeah, and see, I'm just explaining things, but you don't like this is not anything you have to really be concerned about. It's just more so being aware of what things mean. Because our protocol allows you to know whether the market is stable or not. That's more important than knowing if there's somebody else out there with an order. Like, I don't care if there's anybody else out there with an order. My job, is to know that the market is stable first. Because that's going to be the reason that I win if somebody else places an order. See? They don't know that, but I know that. And because you're learning what I'm teaching you, you're going to know it. So anyone else that is placing an order on the other side, they're not aware of what the actual market is doing. They're guessing and hoping that the market moves on the other side of the strike. And then what happens? The market don't do that. Market stays right where it is, and we win the trade. See? So they're speculating and we're making money and profiting off of their speculation because of our understanding of the actual market. We know that the market is stable. They're hoping that the market is volatile. See the difference? It's powerful, man. It's powerful. Yeah, depth is showing you the orders at various prices that have not been taken yet. Just like I just mentioned. And as I said, if the orders have been taken already, you won't see any pricing even in the depth when you look, because there's no orders that are being shown, because there's no orders that are available to be shown. See, orders mean that somebody placed an order and nobody took it yet. If that's the case, you see it. If someone took it, then the platform is matching up one side with the other as far as pricing, because you got some people placing market orders, some people are placing limit orders like we do. So the limit orders will be the orders that will just sit there, and the platform is waiting for someone on the other side to match that order. Once that order is matched, then that's when your order is filled. And typically, what allows that to take place is the market's movement. So if the market moves, it opens up the layers and the orders in the depth, and then they'll automatically be matched back and forth. You see? So when those orders get matched, that's when people get filled. Now it's up to the market to decide who's going to win the trade. You understand what I'm saying? If so, it's just like knowing, I know the market ain't gonna go past this barrier, so it don't even matter. See, if you know that in advance, you know that there's a barrier. You know that there is existing stability present. You already know the market's not going past that strike, even if the market comes up to it. Y'all have seen me in trades like that many times. The market will come right to the strike and won't violate it. And be like, damn, how'd that trade win? See, that's about understanding the market. It had nothing to do with the trade. Because I could have been in that trade or not been in that trade. You understand? But what the market did, that's the key. Understanding that behavior is the way that you'll position yourself in trades that are going to win, no matter what. And that's the key for it. It's not necessary. It is not necessary. And hidden liquidity is just something that I guess I must have said it at some point. Invisible liquidity or something like that. I must have said it. And only because of what it is. It's like you don't see it, but that don't mean it's not there. Liquidity is the process of the orders being matched up. So again, just think of orders in terms of, if I see an order, it means nobody took it yet. That's that. So when you see pricing, think like that. Well, why is there not pricing? Oh, because everybody took the orders. Oh, okay. So what happens if I place an order? Well, if you place an order and then somebody else matches the order, you'll get filled even though you don't see pricing. Oh, got it. And this goes back to what I was discussing earlier about out of position. If you place an order with the market 8 or 9 micropips away from the strike, why the hell would somebody on the other side want to take your order? Why would they just want to give you $20? They wouldn't. So the only way that they'll place an order to take your trade, or I should say place an order or ticket to take your ticket, the only reason they'll do that is if they see the market move. And this lines up with what I said about, well, the only way that you'll be filled is if the market goes against your trade. Does it make sense now? This is crystal clear now. Like, this explanation today is clear. Clear. Think about the logic. Why would somebody want to give you $20? if you 8 micropips away from the strike with 25 seconds left. They wouldn't. But if they're looking and there's 10 seconds left, not even, if there's 15 seconds left and the market starts moving toward the strike and they see your order, oh shit, let me see if I can make it to a quick 80. Click, and they take your order and the market keeps moving. You gave them a reason to take your money. That's why you got filled. Make sense? Should make a lot of sense. Yep, you're welcome. You're quite welcome. Yep, ain't this always the case? Keys all the time. I'm like the super. I'm like the super in your building. Got mad keys on his waist. You got a key for everything in the building. I'm the super. Yeah, this is very true. Right. There are times, plenty of times you see 80 and 20 left over. They don't show until the very end, but they were there the whole time. Yes. Exactly. Exactly. That, see, you know what's funny too is a lot of times when I'm looking, I be knowing that a bunch of people have orders out there because you'll see them at the end, just like Angel just said. You'll see them at the very end. You're like, them orders just sitting there. It be y'all with orders out there. Yeah, orders just sitting there. And you can even see the numbers. Sometimes it'll show you how many actual orders are there. Then I can see when somebody's canceling the order because you'll see the number go down. Just little stuff, man. Like little nuances that you become more familiar with just from observation. Very good. But yeah, that's good that you picked up on that, Angel, because that's exactly what it is. Yep. You're welcome, Stacy. Daniel, so you're saying when there's orders available, the platform is basically advertising them to try to get people to take the other side. Like there's orders available over here. Yes. Absolutely. Yep. That's exact. It's like an auction. See, you have to realize the platform is an actual market. NADEX is a market. It's making a market between traders. The deciding factor is not NADEX, though. Man, this is going to be a Don DeMarco moment. Listen, even though NADEX is creating the market between traders on either side, buyers and sellers, for the binaries, they're creating that market by displaying the orders. They're also simultaneously filling the orders, so you don't always see the prices. Listen, you don't always see the prices. The platform is doing both. It's advertising the prices and it's filling the orders at the same time. So if there's a lot of activity, you won't see prices because they're getting filled quick. Then there are times when the market is so heavily weighted on one side of the strike that the only orders that you see are the ones that's for the other side. That's for one side. So for example, if you're far away from the strike and you're trying to get into a trade on the buy side and you're 9 micropips above the line, it makes sense that there's nobody there to give you that trade. It's already above the likelihood of it staying up there is higher. Why would somebody want to give you money up there? Ain't nobody giving you no money up there. They're going to wait. What they'll do is wait. Now, when they see the market coming down, they're like, market's moving down. What if it keeps going down? We place an order. And they place an order. And then you look on the platform and you start seeing pricing. See, you ever wonder why when the market moves, you start seeing pricing? You know why? Because that's when people start placing orders. Yeah, man, this is Don DeMarco. This is heavy today. I didn't even realize this was gonna be this good today. But this is good. This is good. Shit. This is good, my friend. Yeah, if it's filled, it won't display because it ain't there. Somebody took it. So they can't show you what they don't have. Make sense? They cannot show you what they don't have. Look at something real quick. Look at this example. Did you just see this jump up to 79? Did you just see that? You know why this jumped up? Because the market was already in position to go above this strike right here, and it's going to stay up there. So what happens is you see all of the opposite side post up. And then that's the pricing that appears here on the sell side. So it's going to be a higher price that appears because it's like, well, the market's above the strike now. You want to sell? If you're selling, what you're saying is, you can sell at 79. So you'll make $79 if you're right. But you got 5 seconds to decide. So in 5 seconds, if the market don't go under, you're going to just lose the $21. You see that? And that's how easy it is. So you start to make sense out of why you see certain pricing with the time left that you have on the binary. Just like just now during that process, there was activity on both sides, sell and buy. When I was looking, I already knew that it was going up. That's why I opened up this ticket just now, because I wanted to show what the pricing looks like. And when you go back, you can see it. I saw the moment where I knew it would stay above. And even before that, the reason that I even opened up the ticket is because this is the extension right here that I talked about. And I'm going to give you the videos to watch in the playlist before we get off here. Let y'all take a look at what I was talking about. But yeah, see, like all of this is helping you understand the dynamic of the platform and how it relates to market stability. So understanding market stability first helps you understand pricing. You start to understand option pricing now. Like, oh shit, that makes sense now. Wow, I didn't know that. Right. And now you see how I can even take the option pricing and use that as a tool, because I know what the pricing reflects. The pricing is reflecting what the market is doing. The pricing is market related because it's human behavior. Option pricing is showing you what the traders on the platform are doing or not doing. It's showing you. So when you look at that, you're like, starting to make sense out of this. See? Just like I said a moment ago, if you're 9 micropips away from the strike with 20 seconds left, nobody cares. Let me see if I get filled on this. So you click in for a buy. Why would somebody want to fill you up there? Why would somebody just want to give you $20? No, they don't want to give you $20. Now, they see it go from 9 to 3. They're like, oh, shit. It went from, man, that thing bursted by 6. Click. And they click in and they take your order that's sitting there. And you saw it too. You're like, oh, shit. Damn, I hope it stays above. If it goes to the other side, they just took your $80. If it stays above, you took their $20. Question is, what is the market going to do? See? So again, it's not even NADEX deciding that. The market decides that. You could have got lucky and stayed above. But why would you even put yourself in that position is the point that I'm making. See, you're only doing that because you're not fully aware of what things mean. So now you're in the know because I explained it and I broke it down. Now you understand what I mean when I say if we out of position, we not clicking in. Now it makes sense. See? Good shit, man. Yep. Ooh, look. All right, this is Don DeMarco. This is Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. Don DeMarco. You can manipulate the ladder if you're quick enough, but you can't manipulate the behavior. See? And I was saying this last week. You cannot manipulate the market. Can't manipulate the market. So if you understand the market better than someone else, it gives you the edge. That's the advantage that you have. So it's your market knowledge that gives you the edge over other traders on the platform. See how this works? It's not just about trades. Oh, well, that trade was good. This trade was good. That trade was bad. This one did this. That one lost. This one won. Or I noticed these win. I noticed that you could do this at any time and these will win. No. You're seeing instances of wins or losses. There are times when you see the market, that indicative move in the last few seconds on the other side of the strike. Why did it do that? Because that's where the market was. That's where the market was, and that's what the behavior was at the time. But in your mind, you're like, nah, man, they cheating. Nah, nobody's cheating. No one's cheating. You have to learn the market more. You have to understand behavior more. Again, so you can customize the trade to the behavior. You doing shit the other way around. You trying to find trades and customize the trade to the trade set up. But you're not customizing the trade to the behavior. There's certain behaviors where I don't care how good the trade looks. I'm not trading. I'm not doing it. Oh, but you would have won. But the behavior wasn't what it needed to be. I don't care that it won. It had to either win or lose. It was a coin flip. But if that behavior is out of alignment with what I know equals stability, why do I care? I don't care. Come on, man. Yeah, see? Rose said it makes sense to me now, but not years ago when I didn't understand the platform. Exactly. Exactly. See, and this is help. And now you guys see and you understand why I talk about everything concerning NADEX, option pricing, the platform, trades, the market. You see, I'm talking about everything because the more educated that you are, you now can make your own decision on how you want to do things. I mean, for the general public, I'm not even talking about people in training with me. For the general public, NADEX is a powerful trading platform. The reason that you'll lose here is the same reason that you'll lose anywhere, because you don't understand the market. So just because you're here trading binaries doesn't exclude you from having to understand the market first. You don't go on to Robinhood thinking you're going to make $1 million trading stocks, do you? Who does that? You don't go open an account with E-Trade or one of these other platforms. You don't go open a Thinkorswim account thinking that you're going to just trade options and make a bunch of money this year. Do you? No. You got to learn what? You got to learn about the market that you're trading or that you're investing in. See? And for trading purposes, it requires much more understanding of the market because you got to be in tune with the movement. You got to know what movement means. Like, Dan, all right, the market is doing this. What does that mean? It was moving slow and now it's moving kind of fast. What does that mean? It was moving fast, but now it's moving kind of slow. What does that mean? It's moving back and forth. What does that mean? It's moving and it's staying this time. What does that mean? You don't know what none of this means yet. That's your problem. So you need to spend more time focusing on learning what it means before you trade. Then it will help you understand trades. I just broke down, why would somebody on the platform trading options like you are, why would they place a trade that only benefits you? Why would they do that? They're not going to do that. Oh, this one going to do the same thing. Let me see something. Look at this one. This one going to do the same thing. Now, you see how it's only one micropip above the strike? Watch it stay there. Watch this. Why did that stay there? Did you see that? It stayed there. It stayed one micropip above the strike. Now, again, ain't nobody trading that. But my point is, why? I could see from option pricing that it would do that. All right, yes, all right. So just think about that for a moment. If I'm able to take a bunch of tools and use them together simultaneously, how much more of an edge do you think that gives me over other traders on the same platform? How much of an edge is that giving me? Learning how to understand speed. Like, nah, this is not on this one. I see it wasn't moving with that much speed. If it had more speed in it, it would have done this. If it had less speed in it, it would have done that. Stability is there, but the momentum wasn't there. Okay, that makes sense now. You start to make sense of shit. It's powerful shit, man. It's powerful stuff. See, like this is $1 million information. This information will make you a millionaire. Hold up. Oh boy. Oh boy. I mean, I ain't making it up. I'm not making it up. This information will literally turn you into a millionaire. A cash millionaire. Hold on, let me be clear. Cash. Liquid. Not on paper. In the bank. All your option pricing questions answered. Yep, there you go. The condition in the market and the position must match at all times. In sync. Pricing as a tool for timing when necessary, observation excuse me, observation and understanding of the market should always be the sole reason for entry at any point, period. Bingo. Bingo. Yep. Peter Leonardi, traders influence pricing. That's why sometimes you'll have pricing and sometimes not. Come on. Come on, Peter. Otis says, this is why it makes no sense at all if you don't understand the behavior at the time. Exactly. You got no reason to trade. You don't know what you're doing. You're just flipping a coin. Yep. Rose says, I'm going to keep it simple, though. I'll be sticking to the protocol till I'm well in position. Then I might have an extra account to try other forms of stability trading, maybe. Very good idea. Very good idea. Clarity in your observation is more valuable than just a winning trade. Get him, Otis. I ain't mad at that. I ain't mad. Yep. Shine said, let me get 300 contracts, then I'll do other shit. Yeah, and see another reason too, because it's so funny. This is how I felt last year when I did it. When I actually did the extension, I was in the middle of a project. Like I was in the middle of the project and I decided to do that. And I'm like, I'm feeling an overwhelming desire to just do this. And I think that a lot of it over time, as you become more aware of the market, it takes a lot of focus to not do what comes natural to do. You got to realize, like for me personally, what has happened over time, I had to literally stop myself from trading in multiple environments just to focus on slow environments so I could teach you. So what I did naturally in the early days, and you know, when you go back to those videos, you see I was doing what came natural to me. But you have to understand that that ability has come over time. And as you get better at doing what you do, it becomes easier to do and you can do more variations of the same thing. So I had to stop myself from doing that just to be able to focus on slowing down enough so that everyone else could understand. That took a lot. That took a lot for me to do that. And I've consistently been doing that for years now. So, you know, I would imagine that eventually you just will get these urges to do something just because you're seeing it more often. That's what happened to me last year when I was in the middle of that project. I'm like, you know what? These last 10 trades, I'm going to do like this. And then I talk about it. And that's exactly what I did. I took the last 10 trades that way, and then I did a training on it. And I'm like, well, if anyone understands it, there you go. If you don't get it, stick to what we do. Like, you don't have to try to force yourself to understand that. You either understand it or you don't. You either get it or you don't get it. So I just did it that way and just left it at that. Yep. So, you know, coincidentally, here we are a year later and I'm doing it again. But yeah, so what's good is that I have existing videos with me actually, like you'll be able to see the market the way that I explained it in the extension in the videos that I'm gonna tell y'all about. So I'm gonna give you the list for that in a minute. And those of you that want to take a look, take a look. Everybody else, do what you do. Do what you do. Let me see. Cash Money still a company. Oh man. What is it that I'm trying to do here? Oh man. Yeah, see, and this is why I committed to only teaching the way that you guys learn now. Because that's what'll happen. It's like people will they'll 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 think that temptation and urges to trade and being thirsty and being in trade mode is the same as what I'm actually training you to do, and it's not. They're two separate things. You're not in trade mode regardless. No trade mode ever. And you're focused on what it is that you're waiting to see, and you wait for that, and you don't do anything until that comes. So, yes, indeed. Okay, there goes Sean right there. Yeah, so Sean, I don't know if you saw this whole live stream, but if not, rewind it, replay it. I had brought up what you had shared in the group, so this will be good, very good for you. All right, Angel. Said train and respect the market could give an F about a trade. All right. All right, let me see. Let me give you this list real quick. This is for anyone that's interested in just seeing some of the videos that I had took um those trades during. These are in the 30 trades in 30 days playlist. So y'all should be able to get to that on the channel. Like I'm not sharing no links or none of that. If you want to watch it, just go to the playlist. So it's video number 5, number 6, number 20, 24, 26, 27, 29, and 30. So how many is that? 8? Yeah, 8 of them. So I'll post that. I'll post the numbers. Y'all can take a look at those videos. So these are the videos in that playlist, the 30 trades in 30 days playlist. If y'all want to take a look. Daniel, to me, the market has always been like a wild animal that I couldn't figure out how to tame. All of this makes so much more sense than strategies. Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. Because this is the foundation. It's the foundation. It's like all strategies attempt to do is put you into trades that you think will win for whatever reason. Oh, there's volatility. There was news. There was this. There was that going on. So, we want that. Yeah, but what about timing? What about behavior? What about how the volatility is? You see what I'm saying? Like, so if you explore the right thing, then you'll get to the one thing that you actually want. For me, the only thing I want is to win all of my trades. That's it. I want to win my trades and understand why I won. I want to avoid not being in any trade at the wrong time. That's it. That's my one thing. So once you have identified what your one thing is, you just focus. So now everything falls in alignment with the one thing. So everything that I'm doing leads up to that one thing. I want to be able to consistently be in winning trades and understand why. If it ain't that, get it out of here. I don't want nothing to do with it. So, yes, and that's the key, stability. Yep, stability. TA the foundation for these financial markets. Big facts. Yeah, so for anyone that might have came on late, also you want to watch this replay today because I talked about option pricing. I talked about the platform. Explain how the market movement relates to why people do shit on the platform. Like the reason that you'll see option pricing and you won't. The reason that out of nowhere the market will move and then you're in a trade that you don't want to be in. It's like, well, you're in a trade you shouldn't have been in because you shouldn't even place that trade. So what will happen is people will look at that and they'll be like, oh, damn, when I placed this trade, the market did something crazy. Well, the market was going to do that anyway. You just happened to be in a trade. So you need to question, why were you in that trade? Why did you place that order? Make sense? So that's how we always want to look at things, from that perspective. Why are we doing what we're doing? And if you can't answer the question, then you have no reason for doing it. And that's it. Point blank, period. All right, y'all, I'm out. So listen, y'all have a great weekend. Y'all know what it is. This is Coffee and Charts, Volume 40. Yep. And I'm out, man. It's time for a salad. So listen, y'all have a good weekend. And I will see you on the next Coffee and Charts live market observation or the podcast. Y'all know what it is. Deuces. Dom de Marco. Dom de Marco.